Hi, this is Joanne Davies, Spiritualist Medium and Tutor, and welcome back to my channel for mediumship and psychic development. In today's video, I'd like to talk to you about platform presentation. So I've been a working medium for around 12 years, and during that time I have served the spirit world in a variety of settings. On spiritualist church platforms, as well as at ladies' nights, corporate events, for profit, and also at an array of charity nights. And I've learned a lot over that last 12-year period of, attitude and thought process in how you present yourself as an individual, and also in how you represent the spirit world who you are an ambassador for. So in this video I'd like to just talk a bit about some thoughts of how we come across in different settings. So a lot of mediums think that when they do a charity night, because they are offering their services for free, that perhaps it doesn't matter quite so much as it would if you were serving a spiritualist church or serving for a night for profit. And I'd like to start by saying that no matter what type of work you're doing, who you're doing it for, or where you're doing it, your presentation should always be on point in terms of how you speak, how you look, and how you behave, because you must come across as a professional in terms of your own personal representation of yourself, whether you are a person or whether you're trying to brand yourself in terms of social media, etc. And in this day and age of social media, we must remember that news travels far faster now than it ever did before, and that we now live in a global village. So, if you turn up at a charity night and you don't put in the same level of effort, or you have a bad attitude, or you rush things, or don't do as good a job as you would normally do, then that information will travel. We also live in an era of reviews on the internet. So we have Yelp, we have Google, we have Facebook, we have numerous other platforms where people may wish to leave us reviews. And, I've had my fair share of bad reviews, like every medium will do, and every person in the public eye will do, because you can't please everybody all the time. But you must remember that you're representing yourself, your brand, and that you are an ambassador for the voiceless. You are the voice of spirit, and you must treat that spirit world with respect and their relatives with respect, even if people don't necessarily treat you with respect. So these are some things I'd like you to consider and to think about in terms of platform presentation. And for those of you who've trained in spiritualist churches, where many of us do train, then you may have been trained in the way that the church or the organisation who've trained you want you to work in their spiritualist church platform. And that may involve minding your P's and Q's, singing hymns, and performing what they call a divine service, where the main focus is on the philosophy of spiritualism rather than on the mediumship itself. But if you then take yourself, and you've been trained that way, and you take that out and try and transfer it to a corporate night, whether it be a psychic night for profit or whether it be a charity night, you'll find that the way you work in a church platform will not transfer and will not work as well as it would where you are doing a night where people are coming along looking to be entertained. And there's a lot of talk in the spiritualist movement about the fact that those who come from the religious perspective do not want mediumship to be seen as entertainment. But the fact is that whether you're in a spiritualist church or in a theatre or in a community hall somewhere, people want to be entertained, and they want to see someone standing up there who can crack a joke, who can be self-deprecating and laugh at themselves, and who can provide an enjoyable evening, where it's not necessarily like sitting in a Church of Scotland or Church of England kirk or church. So we need to consider these things moving forward as spirit workers and light workers, and we need to consider the future. And by all means, if you are a church trained medium, having reverence for the spirit world is important. But equally, if you're not a church trained medium and you've trained elsewhere, you must still have some respect for the spirit world and for those recipients in the audience. So your presentation must consist of, where am I? What area am I in? And, is the way I'm speaking and the way I'm dressed going to immediately turn people off? So if you're serving an SNU church, they'll expect you to be suited and booted. And it's very old-fashioned and restrictive in terms of codes of conduct and what you should wear and what you should say. And that's fine if that's the environment you're working in. You have to observe those guidelines and those codes. But if you're going out and you're doing a night that's for profit or for charity, then be yourself, because there is nothing worse than watching a medium on stage who is a carbon copy of their mentor, or just sounds like a robot. And sadly, we see a lot of that, where there is no joy and there is no energy and everything seems very stoic and flat and robotic. And that's not an ideal environment for the spirit world to work with us. And so there are no hard and fast rules about what you should wear, what you should say, what you should do. But what I would say to you, if you're a developing medium, from the benefit of my experience, is that you should be yourself. You should wear what feels comfortable and what you feel confident and happy wearing, bearing in mind the environment that you're working in. So if you're asked to go along and serve an SNU church, don't turn up in jeans and trainers if you know that that will upset people. Turn up dressed appropriately. If you're going to serve spirit in a night that you're organised yourself somewhere else, wear jeans if you like, but show your tattoos off if you've got them, if that's how you like to dress. If you've got pink hair, flaunt your pink hair if that's what you want to do. Be yourself, but make sure that you feel confident and happy, because there's nothing worse than turning up and feeling self-conscious, because that will then take your mind away from your mediumship, and your conscious thought will be directed at how you look, and you will come across as nervous, and the audience will realise that you're nervous, and that then will make it very, very difficult for you to get a rapport with your audience. So be yourself. Pitch what you're saying and how you're saying it at your target audience. Don't insult people. Dress in what feels comfortable and appropriate for you and what feels appropriate for the environment that you're in. And most of all, relax and enjoy yourself, because when you're relaxed and enjoying yourself, the spirit world can relax and enjoy themselves, and the audience can also relax and enjoy their evening. And if the audience pick up that you're nervous, that you're uptight and that you're not enjoying yourself, then they won't either, and it'll most likely end in disaster. So I'll leave those thoughts with you. I hope that helps in some way, and feel free to drop me some comments in the comments box if you've got anything to add, or if you have any other topics you'd like me to cover, or if you'd like me indeed to do a live Q&A where you can come along and speak to me in a live situation. And I'll look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.